At first glance, besides the bull bar, these three Land Rovers don't look that much different, but the thing is, mileage should not be one of the first things you should be looking at when you're buying a used vehicle. Sure, you want your car to look nice inside and out, but it's what's underneath that matters the most. I'm going to show you underneath these three trucks and show you how different they are. Even the truck in the middle has the least amount of miles. It, however, was left parked outside in the grass. The truck on the left has seen typical Midwest winters and has been stored on a concrete slab or in a garage. The truck on the right has come from Arizona and has lived the majority of its life in a rust-free environment. First, I will put on the truck that has lived an average life onto the lift and show you what it looks like underneath. This truck has over 220,000 miles on it. As you can see, there's just minimal surface rust on the frame and on the components underneath. You can see the frame in the rear around the anchor points is starting to rust a little bit. However, the main sections of the frame are in great shape still. Take a look at the suspension. Looks just fine. No abnormal rust on anything. The small amounts of rust that are here in the back of the truck can be fixed and are not really that big of a deal. Next up is our rust-free Arizona truck. This truck falls in the middle range as far as mileage goes, with 170,000 miles on the clock. This truck lived its life in an exceptionally dry climate. Immediately at first glance, you see that the frame is still painted. There is not surface rust covering the entire frame and underbody of the truck. As we look closer at the truck, you can see that everything is in much better shape. There's absolutely no rust developing around the tow hooks. In fact, there's even paint on the frame in those areas. The suspension is still painted. After 20 years of use, this truck is looking exceptional underneath still. The last truck is in a strikingly worse situation, but it is immediately obvious that this truck is in worse shape than the others. You can see more than just surface rust developing on most surfaces. But when you look around where the bolts are, you can really tell the difference that this thing has seen a hard life. Even the suspension is extremely rusted. The rust is bubbling up out of it as it corrodes. This truck was left outside and even parked in the grass for an extreme amount of time. That has let the moisture build up and hang onto the bottom of the car, completely creating the nightmare situation you see underneath. Mileage on these three trucks does not appear to affect the condition of the interiors. They are all in very similar shape. If you were choosing which of these three trucks to buy based solely on mileage or exterior condition, you may have chosen the wrong vehicle. The most important thing when buying a vehicle is the chassis, and then next, the condition of the exterior body. When compared to an engine, brakes, or transmission rebuild, the cost to repair a frame or do body work and repaint a car is far greater. A car with 10,000 miles on it but has not been maintained and was kept in a swamp will always be a worse buy than a car with 1,000,000 miles on it that was meticulously maintained.